we do? Now in this video, I'm going to briefly talk about the difference between attack speed and attack damage as playstyles, difference between different champions when it comes to tower sieging, and other objectives you might want to take in the game. So what I mean by this is, and why the title says Jhin versus Jinx, is because I'm using those two as a main example. Yes, attack speed and attack damage, obviously one of the main differences right there is one's attack damage and one is attack speed. So what am I talking about? What I'm talking about is playing the rest of the map and the rest of the game outside of sieging down those towers, because Jhin, for example, was played in Game 3, Day 2, Week 5 of the NALCS, Cloud9 vs Immortals, you can go check that out. He doesn't have a lot of attack speed at any point in the game, but in exchange, his attack damage can get very high. So Jhin, who's suddenly sitting at like 750 AD, but I can only attack barely one attack per second on a tower that has about 4k health. That means it's gonna take about 6 seconds to burn that tower down, give or take, right? But Jinx though, for example, who might only be able to get to maybe 300 damage, let's say, by full build, but maybe can hit the 250 attack speed cap, meaning you're doing 2.5 attacks a second. So if you do that math, that also equals 750. But the difference is, it's still going to take about the same time to take the tower down. The difference is you're going to have a lot more DPS and without having the high attack speed. So what does this have to do with anything? It's about playing the rest of the game. If you're going against a team comp where you can afford to like single down burst a target, you might still want to go with Jhin then, because even though Jinx is a good team fighter and such, she can get picks with the flame choppers and like her zap and all that stuff. But she's generally thought of as more of a team fighter because of all the AoE she can bring to a team fight, plus the DPS and the AoE rockets, the ult. With Jhin, he's more of a single target type of champion. So with him, you might pick him because you want to destroy those towers once you get to the late game, but the team comp you need is a more single target, pick comp-esque poke style. Well, with Jinx, you might want Jinx if you're going against a Mundo, for example, because you need the DPS to burn down these like massive tanks, or because again you have like an AoE wombo combo kind of a thing, and you want to be able to use her abilities to either reset and take over or play cleanup janitor even. And that's kind of the difference when you look at the attack speed versus attack damage. What this means going forward, I have no idea, because Jin's only been out for a little bit of time. We've only seen him in one game, and banned also one game. I imagine once the pros especially learn how to figure out how to play him, as well as people who are generally Jhin mains, and not like the Jhin mains because he's out right now and then in a week I'm going to drop him, but people who actually want to play Jhin, once those two groups actually start figuring out how he works, kind of like how it took Tom Kench a second to figure out how he worked, and now we kind of get an idea what he's supposed to be doing in whatever role, I imagine like more in-depth analysis of Jhin and his abilities will be able to be figured out. This is just my quick view of how I'm seeing Jhin used and played as and against at the moment. Is still as a tower sieger in some potential, but more for the poke and pick off comps versus a Jinx, for example, who's also known as a tower destroyer, but also known as a great team fighter as well. Not really single, 1v1 dueling potential kind of person. What Jhin is, even though his dueling might be a little bit weak at the moment, and that's why they're kind of buffing him to 6-4. So that's really all this video was about, to be honest, and put the delay included. I'm going to be trying to pump out at least a couple of videos a week. I know the production has been somewhat slowed down. I haven't been on it like I should be. I should be at least, at the very minimum, put out at least a video a week. It shouldn't be that hard, but I'm making it harder on myself, and I do apologize. But anyway, I don't know when the next video is going to be, because life is full of a lot of kinks. But until next time, take care. GG, get jinxed.